Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tuesday CT. I'm Kristin from Magoosh, and today I'm really excited to be talking to you about the ACT essay. Specifically, our question of the day is, should the ACT essay be 5 paragraphs? Now, if you've been to school, probably, hopefully, at some point in time in middle school or high school, your teacher has walked you through the 5-paragraph essay where you have an intro and then 3 body paragraphs and then a conclusion. And a lot of students find that works for them. A lot of other students find it's too structured and they want some creative license and freedom. And so let's talk about whether or not the ACT is an appropriate place for you to be exercising this creative freedom. And honestly, I think the answer is no. Now, the answer to the question of does your ACT essay need to be 5 paragraphs is no. So nowhere in the scoring are the graders going to be counting how many paragraphs you have, but they are grading you on organization. And it turns out that the 5-paragraph essay is a really well-recognized organizational form. And when you are doing timed writing and you have a limited amount of time to be convincing the grader that you can organize your thoughts, the 5-paragraph essay is a really, really good way to go. So I think you should think of it as already you have something taken off your plate before you even start the essay if you plan to write a 5-paragraph essay. So you already know going in that you're going to write a 5-paragraph essay. So why I think this is really helpful on the specific ACT essay that you have to write is because you're being asked to evaluate 3 different perspectives. And that is perfect for the 5-paragraph essay because a 5-paragraph essay has 3 body paragraphs. So if you devote each body paragraph to talking about one of the 3 perspectives, then you are going to already know how to organize your essay, and you'll have at least a little thing off your plate before you even start. And so that makes it a lot easier. So to break it down just a little bit more, the first paragraph is going to be your introduction. Now, we have lots of other videos on our Magoosh ACT YouTube channel where we break down how to write the new ACT essay, so I'm not going to go into that too much here. We also have lessons on exactly how to write the ACT essay on act.magoosh.com that you can also check out. I'm just going to do a brief overview since we're talking about the 5 paragraphs and what they should be. So in your intro, this is where you're going to introduce the topic that you're talking about, and you are going to state which perspective you agree with, or state your own perspective if you're choosing that option. So that's the thesis you're going to end on. And then you're going to go through paragraphs 2 to 4, your 3 body paragraphs. And like I said, break them down by perspective. The essay graders are looking that you talk about each one of the 3 perspectives, and if you don't, if you leave one of those out, then you are going to get marked down. So that 5-paragraph essay structure, make sure that you are talking about each one of the 3 perspectives if you devote a paragraph to each one. So I suggest that you order these in terms of how they support your argument. So if you are going to be talking about, either start with the ones that you agree with and then the ones that you don't, and then talk about the one or the ones that you don't agree with, or go the other way. Argue against those claims first, end with your point. But you want to go ahead and order them in a way that makes sense to build your argument. And like I said, we talk a little bit more about that elsewhere, but this structure guarantees that you're going to talk about each perspective equally, and that will get you some points in the test. And then finally, you're going to have a conclusion. Now, the ideal conclusion is going to reiterate your argument. You want to try not to use the same words that you used in your thesis statement, so state it in a different way, but refer back to the introduction. That is what helps really bring that essay full circle. That's a little special tip for the conclusion. So if you talked about a certain situation or anecdote or issue or quote in the introduction, refer back to that at the conclusion. It helps wrap your essay up really nicely, and then you are done. You have 5 paragraphs, which is also a good amount of paragraphs that you can write within that time frame. So no, it doesn't have to be 5 paragraphs, and I have seen some students who do a really great job with this essay in 4 paragraphs with 2 body paragraphs, or 6 paragraphs with 4 body paragraphs. But the structure of the new ACT essay with those 3 perspectives you have to evaluate really lends itself to this 5-paragraph essay structure. So I think most students are going to do really well within that. So not the time to get all creative. Remember that the graders are spending a very little amount of time grading your essay. You don't have much time to write it, so it's really best to write within the box, and you can get a perfect score on this ACT essay with a 5-paragraph essay. So there's not really much of a reason to stray outside the bounds. I suggest that you be careful with your ACT essay. So 5 paragraphs, good rule of thumb. We have lots more tips to share with you about the ACT right here on Tuesday ACT, so you can check us out here next week, and we'll be talking about a brand new topic.